Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. And I'm really glad that you are here continuing to work for yourself, because today's episode is a pillar for all the work that we do on ourselves. So we will be exploring speaking honestly with ourselves. And it's a tough one because we lie to ourselves for all kinds of valid reasons, whether it's denial or fear or shame or convenience. There are all kinds of heavy hitters that we're up against. So it's important to train yourself to speak honestly with yourself so that you can accurately address your intentions for yourself and how to get there with as much insight as possible. So I'm going to be teaching you extraction techniques based on the circumstances that we all tend to encounter often, so that you can become aware of your honesty within these situations. And this will not only help you be more honest with yourself in these common occurrences, but it will also set the stage for other scenarios that come up. So for those of you new here, my name is Lee, and I guide others in the transition from past harming patterns. And that can mean substance abuse, and that can mean otherwise. The patterns that breach the connection with ourselves are all very similar. So there is something here for anyone looking for some ease in life and strategies on how to get that. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for weekly reminders on how to get some guidance on to help you with your inspirations and your challenges. And in the description below as well, I've included some links for further resources. And as always, please comment. And if you're too shy to comment here, at least comment to yourself and talk to yourself and think about these things that you're learning for yourself. So before I get into the practice scenarios, I want to mention a few things about being honest with ourselves. And I want you to think of these as often as you can as you start your approach to becoming more honest with yourself. So it's important to realize that not speaking honestly to ourselves can keep us safe from the unknown. It takes courage to become honest and open up the possibilities for the things that we may want to change. In our brains, they're not programmed to like change. Change means danger, and we're just not hardwired to step into danger. So throw your challenge here with honesty and with the brain. Each time you are trying to deepen that connection to yourself, ask yourself, am I really keeping myself safe by not getting to know myself better? And be sure to answer that honestly, because this is a way of exploring why you are or why you are not ready for change. It's also important to mention that not being honest with ourselves is damaging in many ways, and it goes beyond not being equipped with the proper information we need. Not being honest with ourselves translates to repressing things, being in denial, putting things off, going against our intuitions, lying to ourselves, and therefore lying to others. It affects our physical and mental health. It affects our relationships, and pretty much it severs any chance we have at becoming the person that we want to be. And this could mean everything from a great parent, or a person who doesn't turn to addiction patterns, to a person who just doesn't want to speak badly of themselves again. So having said all of this, becoming more honest means that we need to tap into the courage that all of us have. And this does come with some warning, because not only are we opening up the possibilities to change ourselves and change our lives, we are going down a road with a likelihood of no return. Meaning that once you start to become more honest with yourself and listen to yourself and come up with solutions for yourself and honor yourself with some good insights into the way you think and the way you feel, it will become increasingly difficult to ignore your thoughts to yourself and to go back on your words to yourself and your intentions that you set for yourself. However, when you continue to gather your courage and consistently become more connected to yourself, you will see the possibilities and the paths to get to your goals. And I suspect that overall you will have the desire to keep deepening that connection with yourself. So regardless, becoming honest takes time, and it's a commitment, and you have to work it as often as you can. So having said that, here are the scenarios that we are likely to encounter often. And these are in no particular order other than how they are relevant and how they pertain to you. So the first scenario are the people-pleasing situations. So the situations where we typically ignore what is right for us and what is best for us because we simply don't want to explain to others that we can't get involved right now. And this exercise is not about whether you say yes or you say no, or it's not about standing up for yourself. This exercise is to help you tap into your gut reaction and into your true intentions for yourself when you find yourself in these situations. So when in a situation that you know is your people-pleasing, ask yourself, does this really work for me? Why am I agreeing to this? What would it mean for me if I sit this one out? How would my schedule change if I didn't take on so much? What would I prefer to be doing right now instead? Is this something I would like to change about myself? Put those questions to yourself. And it's situations like these that provide us good time and good material to really ask ourselves why and what if. So take advantage of these occurrences to get to know yourself better. Another one that can really give good opportunities to practice speaking honestly with yourself is tapping into the times that you find yourself comparing yourself to others. And this is so common for so many of us. So it's a good one to use as a practice. So once again, when you find yourself comparing yourself to others, start to put the questions to yourself. Why do I feel like I'm so much behind everyone else? Why do I assume people have it so good because they're smiling all of the time? Does comparing myself to others motivate me, or does it discourage me? Does comparing myself to others help me feel grateful? So you really want to dig into the situations where you compare yourself to others and take advantage of the opportunities it presents to get to know yourself better. And you might want to ask, should I create a plan for myself to break away from this habit? And ask these questions and be sure to answer them thoroughly as best as you can. And this next situation is a good one, but we need to really step back and try to get our egos out of the way. And that's blame shifting. So that's taking the blame away from yourself and passing it on to others. And this is a hard one to peel back the layers to, because for starters, even if we are aware that we're passing the blame, we never like to admit it. But the biggest obstacle here is that we don't often even know that we're doing this. So that's why this one is a tough one, but it's a good one to really get us speaking honestly with ourselves. Because when we shift blame, it's because we're in denial, or we're jumping to conclusions, or we're letting our emotions getting the better of us, or we're deferring responsibility. There's all kinds of things. So the first chance you have that you become aware of yourself shifting blame, get questioning. Is this my coping mechanism? Does this relieve my stress, or does it create more? How can I become more aware when I am doing this? How does this impact others? Are there things I should be working on? Does this make my communication with others less valid when I don't take responsibility? There are many, many, many questions, and along with these questions, hopefully there are many great answers and many insights. And by great, I just mean the insights that will work for you. And so with all of this comes great practice, so to start becoming honest with yourself. Now, for these last two extraction scenarios, we're going to shift the mood here and focus on our more shining moments, because you likely notice that the first three scenarios are all areas where we could potentially use some work. And just as a side note, in these types of self-guided therapies, it's better to start with the challenges and the areas that really hit a nerve and that get us thinking. And I'm sure this makes sense because if we start with the happier places, it relaxes our need for change. So having said that, for this next extraction practice, pick the most content place you have in your life and ask yourself, what influence do I have in making this possible? Are there circumstances that would have prevented me from having this? Is there something I need to do to protect this space? Is there something that I take for granted about this content place? This exercise will help you become honest with yourself about your approach to your goals and how you meet your challenges in sustaining your goals, and perhaps gives you a chance to reiterate the importance of your content place. And this will also allow you to become honest with yourself about your perseverance and your desires and your priorities. So really hone in on your content place and keep asking questions and make these opportunities for yourself to become more honest about your strengths and about your ability to be happy. In the last scenario that we will explore today, which is another shining moment place, is one that is a bit of a cliffhanger. So if you haven't already, be sure to grab a journal or whatever note-taking system that you have and that you like, because out of all of the ways that we can be honest with ourselves, this is likely the most sincerest from the heart. So take time and sit with this one and look within you and make a list of the attributes of the person that you would like to become. So is that you with more calmness? Is that you with a year of sobriety? Is that you eating healthier? Is that you volunteering more? Is that you traveling more? Is that you able to spend more time in solitude without panicking? Is that you no longer doubting yourself that is always battling putting yourself down? Is that you moving into a morning routine that sets you up for a good day and each day? And to these questions, add your finesse. And that's it. And I'm going to leave you with these thoughts and plans to become more honest with yourself in the situations that you find yourself in. And in these special moments that you create for yourself, be sure to tap in to become more honest with yourself in what you want for yourself. So to help further you along, I have a guide of questions called Self-Discovery Gems. The link is below, and there's other resources as well, like my website, recoverywithlee.com, and Facebook, Recovery with Lee, and Instagram, Recovery with Lee. So remember, the most important relationship that you have is with yourself. So be brave and be honest and be consistent. And we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.